I'm Mark Bouris, and this is Straight Talk. Nedd Brockmann, welcome to Straight Talk, mate.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me.
How is it that some guys, and girls I guess, but I don't even think about girls that much, but get such a cool name like Nedd fucking Brockmann? Like, man, I would have killed for a name like that. Nedd Brockmann. It just sounds like movie star shit.
Superhero sort of thing, eh?
Yeah, how'd you get that?
I got the 2 Ds, unfortunately, after Ned, which very rare, but it's unique, which is what I like. So
because like when I was a kid, Mark was okay, yeah, but my brother and I used to always talk about, my young brother, I used to always talk about what would be a cool surname. He used to love the name Armstrong. Can you imagine like little kids we sort of meant long, strong arms, like Armstrong.
Absolutely.
Bouris meant it, it sort of just didn't have a ring to it at the time when you're a kid, especially. But Nedd Brockmann, man, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And where'd you grow up?
So I grew up on a farm west of Forbes, New South Wales, 60k out on a fair few acres out there, cattle farm. And then went to school in Orange at a boarding school there. And then, I'm here now doing my electrical apprenticeship.
How old are you now?
23.
23.
Yeah.
So kid growing up in Forbes on a farm, cattle farm.
Yep. Did
you sort of run around the joint? Were you like born to run?
Not so to speak, no. I actually, as a young fella, we, obviously running around doing all the cattle work, riding motorbikes, being loose, whatnot. But I guess as a young fella, seeing my old man, he was a tough old cattle farmer. So the early rises and the late nights is what I saw. It's like
sunrise, sunset.
Yeah, deep ingrained. Like, you don't really take in what that actually is when you're a young kid. You're just like, that's what dad does. But yeah, obviously getting older, I realized how much resilience that man had, and it probably rings true in my life now.
Were you some of the your dad would say, listen, come on, Ed, if I get up, we've got to go and, what have we got to do, drench or whatever you got to have to do to the cattle.
Yep.
Did you have to do that sort of stuff?
Yeah, dad definitely made us do things that we probably didn't want to do as young kids. Obviously mum as well, she was very proactive in making sure we were out there hands on. But yeah, dad never pushed us to be farmers or, come back to the farm, which is great because as he was as a young kid, he was obviously pushed to, that's all you're going to be. And he's never wanted that for us. He's always wanted us to, whatever we have been shown to, he goes, if that's what you want to do, go and do it, So
I guess that sort of helps too when you go and get sent off to another school outside of the region. So how far is Orange from Forbes?
It's about 2.5 hours from our farm. It was boarding school. It was a weird one, going home every day to mum and dad and getting fed and going, lovely home cooked meals into a boarding school setup where you get, the food isn't too nice at year 7 and
spam.
Not great. Boiled bacon, not fit pan fried, which is all right. It's still food.
But it's a totally different environment. But a lot of country kids do that. They end up get sent to boarding schools. A lot of them end up in boarding schools in Sydney because some of my boys went to boarding schools with the kids who were sent out from the bush into the city private school, so to speak. What did you learn during that period? I mean, what that might have contributed to where you are today, what you're doing today?
Yeah. Well, it's a funny one. So obviously the initial year 7 is hard, like homesickness and getting quite upset, not really realizing. But once you got your routine, you wake up, and I involved myself in rowing at school. So that was the 4:30, 5 o'clock wake up to go out, row for an hour and a half in the morning, come back, get ready for school, eat your breakfast and be ready for school by 9, go to school and then train in the Arvos. Some of the days by, year 10 and 11, we were training 12, 13 times a week. So that was a lot of like dedication and, had to be onto your timing. But it was like resilience, I guess, through being on your own and having to deal with all these boys in one house. And, there was probably 12 boys in my room in year 7, which is pretty intense going from not having to, all of a sudden you got 12.
Sharing,
dorms, bunk beds, and they're divided by our little 600 ml cupboard. So
you're only 23, and it's probably, you may not even thought this through, but do you think that one of the reasons some of us instinctively adopt a technique to keep ourselves busy with rowing, in your case, is a technique to deal with a change of our situation, which may create some sort of anxiety. Mm-hmm. So, in other words, feel a bit anxious. I'm not at home anymore with my family.
Put your head down.
I'll go and do something, get myself busy.
Yeah.
Because people do that in business, they keep themselves busy just to avoid anxiety. Do you think that's just something you adopted automatically?
I believe so, probably. Yeah. Mum and dad always said, sport, you need to do sport. Whatever it is, you're going to do something. Fortunately for us, I picked rowing, which was like that. I think that taught me like regimentation. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Where, you've just got to get up and it makes your day. You don't have time to think about missing home or, the things that are down. I guess, you have crap times, you have good times. If you put your head down and keep continuing, and that's obviously through school, I was like, well, just keep your head down and work hard, train hard. And
but some kids will push against it. Some kids say, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't. I was very much a kid who had the carrot dangled in front of him, so to speak. I was never the biggest kid at school. I was like, but I always, without doubt, gave 120%. Even in footy, I was never like, the best 5'8" or fullback. I was always the second tier, but every time someone ran at me, I put the shoulder in. There was no backing down. It was just like, but I always had the people going, go mate, you've got it, you can do it. But it was never like, especially in rowing, I was the fifth for the quad. So I was never in the quad, but it was always like, oh, if you keep going, hope, if someone gets injured, then you'll be in. And I guess that like the resilience to keep getting back up, that's what has probably led to me today. I've had ample times where, it just wasn't, I just wasn't there, but I was like, you've got it, mate, you've got it. And eventually I knew it was going to come through somewhere. And that's.
Have you thought this through though? Like, you've actually sat down and thought
definitely now, definitely not back in the day.
No.
Yeah. But definitely now I read a lot. I take in a lot of information online. I don't follow many on like social, so to speak. I don't follow much stuff that's like not positive and I guess motivational or, forward progress.
Yep.
And the stuff I take in is like, it's all, let's go. Because
I'm trying to sort of work out, I know you do these things for charitable reasons, but one of the outcomes is charitable reasons, but I'm trying to work out whether you do it for yourself. What am I really feeding here?
Yeah.
Have you thought this through?
I have. It's a very in-depth question.
That's what it's called, straight talk.
Yeah, so good. At its core, I want to see what my body and mind is capable of. Unfortunately, through social media, you have to, if I'm trying to build a brand, so to speak, I have to put stuff out there on Instagram.
You got to play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where it's going, right?
Yeah, you eat budgie smugglers and all that
Exactly.
But that's okay because that's a means to an end.
That's exactly right.
As long as the end is justified.
Yeah, exactly. I love seeing what I can do. But I guess in the world now, people want instant success and that's seen through socials. I believe people see these things come up on Instagram and go, oh, that it's easily attainable, this success, blah, blah, blah. Someone's just overnight, all of a sudden, like for example, with my 50 marathons I did 2 years ago, all of a sudden I'm just posting, I run a marathon a day, I'll go to work. I run a marathon a day, go to work. And that's what everyone's seeing. But they don't see the year prior where I'm not posting anything. I'm actually up at 4 a.m. I'm training for 2 hours. I'm going to work. Every tick over in my mind is thinking about the next moment, what I'm pushing for, and then I go to bed, I read my 10 pages of my book, I go to bed and I wake up again. There's no it's all relentless push to get where I want to be. And that's, I guess now is like, by setting myself up with these challenges, the running across the country, it's scary. It's very scary, but I know I'll be able to do it. And there's like a deep sense of wanting to be able to push myself to see what I can do.
Are you running, or they call it leaning in, but are you running into something or are you running away from something that by using that as a platform to distract you from what it is you maybe should be dealing with? Is there a demon in there?
I don't, everyone talks about demons and, you've got the monkey on your shoulder, but.
Is there that? It doesn't have to be. I'm just.
No, I don't believe so. I just believe like I've got this innate desire to be the best person I can be.
But what is that? Because you were always the fifth in the quad, and
potentially,
and maybe you're always in the seconds and not the first at 5'8". But
I feel like you have to an extent, have something, and I'm probably clutching at straws now because I want people to say, "There's no fucking way you can do that, mate." But I'm going, come on, tell me that. But now, like after doing the 50, people are like, oh, I'm sure he'll do it now. But I want the like there's no way you won't do it. And
But
I
do you
want
get
that.
addicted to that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hooks me, and that's why I'm doing another one. And that's why I will continue to do this probably till the day I drop, and then it won't be running. It'll be something else. It might be business. It might be in, I don't know, talking. I'm not really sure yet. But for right now, all my intention is towards running. There is I can't, through my 23 years, my long 23 years, there is no better feeling I've ever felt than when I finished my 50 marathons in 50 days. I can't, like running, I ran through a big tunnel of 200 people that were obviously quite inspired through what I did in Centennial Park. And just like that, it's an out of body experience. And that is something that I feel I won't be able to get unless I do another thing. I'm not necessarily wanting to be bigger and better and do this and that. It's just like, how am I going to do that? And yeah, it excites the hell out of me.
Well, I can see the pupils in your eyes, and I can see them dilating when you're telling me that story.
Yeah.
Like, so at the end of the 50 kilometers in 50 days.
Yeah. So the 42 Ks for 50 days.
50 marathons.
Yeah.
For
50 days.
50 days.
After work.
Yeah. So, and a marathon is how far again?
42.2.
42.2 Ks, right?
Yeah.
So you ran 42.2 Ks every day.
Yep.
For 50 days, because that's a lot of fucking running. But what was that feeling that really got you excited then?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that last day, funnily enough. It was the, day 10 where I couldn't run because my hamstring tore. It was the days before I even started, the people saying there's no way. Was it sticking up people who were the naysayers? That was definitely a part of it. They were all they were probably on the fence about day 10, and by day 40, everyone's like, let's go, Neddy, let's go.
This guy might get there.
Yeah, he's got this. And then all of a sudden they're in my corner, not the other side. But it's the grind and the process of actually, as I said, the instant satisfaction. It wasn't instant. It was built up over these days, and it was the 6 months prior to the 50 marathons. It was all this hard work to finally get there. And once that goal's achieved, it was just like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, because you finally achieved something that all your hard work's been devoted to, and you're there. And then that's that dilating pupil scenario.
Yeah, because I can see it's sort of etched in your memory. So it's sort of like the reward center in your brain is continues to send you various chemicals to reward you for the experience.
Absolutely.
Even so much so when you were talking about it, then your brain was sending, I could see the chemistry.
I'm back in the scenario.
Yeah, you're getting excited. Your pupils were dilating, which is the sort of driver, the chemical driver that some people, like most people, wouldn't do what you do because they've never experienced the reward.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to work out how the reward. I want to talk about how the reward feels. Do you go home at night after you've run through a thing and you got your sore legs and you probably got to ice yourself, or what do you got to do? Do you go home and think about it? Do you go back and think when the day one, or do you go back and think when you first started training for it? What's your process? I mean, how does it work?
Throughout the running, or
no? When
after?
you finish, so you finished.
Throughout, when I finished the 50,
that's 50 days of running 42 kilometers.
Yeah, the 50 days. Yeah. I probably didn't deal with it the way I should have.
You went and got in the piss?
No, yeah, I did that day. Exactly. I don't regret it, but I do know that there is a much better way.
Tell me what happens then though. So, okay, because I've done this after a fight and I've fought, in the ring I'm talking about, and I fought, and then I got on the drink because I was really happy I won and blah, blah, blah. And it was the worst fucking thing I've ever done.
Yep.
I nearly collapsed.
Well, it almost like semi-deletes what you've done.
But it's so bad for you.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
affects you so quickly.
Yeah. And you've probably trained so hard, haven't been on the piss for 6 months. And
Totally.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
That was fine, because I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my God, I've still done this thing. That wasn't because this big thing I had done wasn't overshadowed, I guess, so to speak.
But the celebration doesn't have to be a drink.
No, it doesn't. And it shouldn't be.
So what should the celebration be? And how do you celebrate for you? How would you celebrate for yourself? Now you've made that, let's going to call it a mistake, but you've experienced get on the piss with my mates.
Yep.
Okay, I woke up, I've done it, but what's the new celebration? What's the new format?
Yeah. Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing. We go and work hard, we get off the piss for a year, and then all you want to do is celebrate and get on the piss again.
Yeah,
but that's a terrible ingrained culture now, isn't it? Ideally, I want to celebrate with the people who are on the trip for this next one, I guess. But it's got to be getting the rest you need, because it's not like it's been in an adrenaline state for 50 days.
Yeah, you'd be stuffed.
And more before. So yeah, it's a matter of dealing. I spoke to a good mate of mine, and he goes, he's a fighter as well, said, we have a 6-week training block. We go into a fight and we have no training block out of it.
Yeah.
You've got,
there's no,
you're going hard, and then you're done. No, he goes, I'm implementing a 3-week out of it block now. And I really want to take that on. So when I do this, it's been a year process, this whole thing, getting all, sponsors and organizing logistics for this run. And then it will be the run, and then it will be finished. So I need to work out a good month out of it.
Yeah.
Because I will need downtime. I will need meditation states. I will need to be so zen in comparison to what I've been, because I'll be running on adrenaline for 40 days.
And when you get that, and you might explain this, that adrenaline, the maintenance of the adrenaline, or the adrenal gland working every day for however long it is you train, and then working for however long it takes to run, can create what they call adrenal exhaustion.
Yep.
And so the day you stop, the thing's over, it's all finished, the excitement's gone, you're not getting there's a feedback loop in your brain which talks to the adrenal gland and say produce adrenaline, and lots of other things, but produce adrenaline, and all of a sudden it stops.
Yep.
The brain goes, oh shit, we're not running. Can you explain the drop?
Yeah. So throughout that, I probably was still in an adrenaline state for 2 weeks.
So you still your
probably even longer.
Really?
Yeah, because I was so hyped up, and for this long
after
amount
50
of
days.
Yeah, after the 50 marathons, I was in such a period of like, I can take on the world.
I could go run again.
Yeah, I felt I could change the world. That's what I was in, the state I was in, because I had to be to get through those days. There was days like, as I said, torn hamstring, torn calf, quad stress through the femur, like starting to get probably pretty injured. And you've got it's like fight or flight, as you know. It's like if someone gives you $100 million, you're gonna take another step. So I was just gonna do it, and that was my end goal. Is like, I'll get this done. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. So then come day, like 3-4 weeks after, I'd finished a 80K run, a 160K run. So I'm still using this thing. And then a week later, I got a little bit injured, and then all of a sudden it all come crashing down because I stopped running.
Talk about that.
Yeah. So I got injured. I had a bit of an IT band scenario.
That's up the side of your leg.
Yep. It was like on the lateral side of your knee. And
was it just stiffness and soreness?
It just started aching, and then my dumb, naive self was still in his adrenal state. So I ran for a good month thinking I could just run through it, but no way. And then, a month later, I was like, okay, better sort this out, get a scan, see what happens. But I went down because exactly that. My mind's now going, oh, cool, he's resting. Let's shut everything down.
Correct.
And so my training just went to absolute crap because I even couldn't have the energy to even lift up a weight, let alone I wasn't running. So I wasn't sweating. I wasn't feeling these endorphins I was feeling after running 42K a day. And then, I went into
lost. Do you feel lost?
Very, because I didn't have a goal or I didn't have and unfortunately, fortunately as well, I've now implemented it's not about the end goal, right? It's about the day-to-day enjoying the process. And that excites me.
I've sort of experienced this myself. So sometimes when you're doing the day-to-day process, you can only do that. You can only actually implement that as part of a plan.
Yep.
Because, some people like you, I'm a bit the same. You need regimentation, so you need a routine. But to have a routine, I've got to have a goal. Then I draw up a plan. I don't really care about the goal so much. I sort of do and I don't, but it's more, I really try to do it so I can enjoy the process of undertaking the plan. Training every day, and it gives me a reason to do something. Overall, it's good for my health. Blah blah blah. The whole heap of things. But if that plan somehow, and therefore I need a goal. I must have a goal. Even I don't really care if I achieve the goal so much. I want to, but it's not really the idea. The idea is, they say the journey or whatever you want to call it. It's on the way through. Because it has other benefits to me. But can you actually do that journey and execute a plan without actually having a goal?
No.
So have you become a goal junkie?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, I feel like
there's nothing wrong with it.
My next few years are trying to get this end goal. And I
Yeah.
guess like, yeah, it's all like I need to get from A to B in X amount of days. Like but exactly that. It's not like I'll be happy when I get to this point.
Yeah.
It's like you have to enjoy every waking minute. Otherwise, there's no way you're going to get to this point.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Because the hard part is the prep. It's not the event.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
hard part's the prep.
Yeah.
And everything, and the event, but it's not the outcome. It's not sort of the last 50 kilometers, whatever. It's everything you do to prepare for it, all the planning, all that shit. How do you deal with waking up every morning? Do you have down days where you say, oh, fuck, I'm just too tired. I'm too sore. It's fucking freezing cold, or it's dark. It's winter.
I honestly, it's all like water off a duck's back, the small stuff for me. Funnily enough, as with the goal scenario, I do believe that there's what I'm doing is, I guess, a higher purpose. I don't want to sound so cliche.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, I do struggle with the 4 a.m.s, but I believe I can make, like with what I'm trying to do, I need to be fucking relentless. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I need to like.
You can't miss a day.
Every waking moment, my head is just going. I'm like, how can I make 1st of September easier now?
So first thing is the day you start the run from. Is it from Perth to Sydney or Sydney to Perth?
Yeah, from Cottesloe to Bondi.
Okay. So 1 September, the first day of spring, you're going to run. You're going to start this run.
Yep.
And the goal to get to there.
Yep.
As opposed to doing the run, but the goal to get to the 1st of September is really important.
Yep.
So do you set a series of sub goals?
Yep. Absolutely.
So maybe do you actually set a goal like, okay, it's a bit like someone trying to get off cigarettes, or someone trying to get off the beer, or the booze. They say, I just want to drink today.
Yeah.
Do you work through that process?
Absolutely. So even with ultra like marathon running, some days there's like you need to just do it's step by step. It's not even K by K.
It's not even day by day.
No, it's not even. So I'm breaking anyway, I will get into the run, but I'm doing 25K 4 times a day.
Now.
That's the break. No, that's the break of the day.
1 September, yeah.
But in the lead up, I'm like, as I said, it might be just step by step. And that's when the alarm goes off at 4 a.m. I'm up, I'm doing my, whatever the session is.
So give me a regiment now.
Now?
Yeah.
The alarm goes off 4 a.m.
Yep.
4:05, I'm out of the bed. Absolutely. Without a doubt, I'll have a second alarm. Whether I get to bed at 10 or whether I get to bed at 7 or get to bed at 11:30, it's like, I've got to do it because I'm making up my lack of like physical ability. I make up in pursuit of making sure this happens.
Relentlessness.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but some people would be thinking,
I don't want you to be
how
tired.
the fuck can I get up? How does he do that every day? Get up 4 a.m., 4:05.
You'll make up the sleep somewhere else.
But how do you do it? I mean, do you just
I have a wall.
throw the sheet off, or what do you do?
I have a big wall.
Yeah.
It's called the fuck you wall. The people who've said what I can't and can do. I have a big thing saying, be fucking relentless. Let's go. You've got this.
It's written in front of you.
Yeah. You've got this swear word. And then I go,
And you look at it before you go to bed.
Absolutely.
And you look at it when you wake up.
Yep. So it's in here.
You got a partner?
I do.
Yeah. So
I feel for her.
Yeah. So when you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you don't feel like, I just fucking never going to just stay here and have a snuggle because it's fucking freezing cold. And
she's doing her best to make sure that happens.
Does she just go, get the fuck out?
Nah. She wants me to stay in there, but it's like a bigger goal. So it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I need to, she understands and she's so welcoming of what I need to do and supportive. So it's like,
she's not dirty on you.
Nah.
But she's not also saying, come on, get up.
Get up. No.
So when you get up at, let's say you get at 5:04.
Yep.
Take me through. So leaving out the toilet department,
Yeah,
what's the first thing you do?
Don't worry about that.
What's the first thing you do?
Coffee. Quick coffee.
So you got,
if I'm feeling a bit.
Yeah, but not every day.
Not every day.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Would you have to, like in food regime sort of thing, do you have to sort of take in sort of go and have some oats or something?
Absolutely. I have to eat every time before I run because the night before the day just leading up all this training, I'm still burning 4,000, 5,000 calories. I need to up my intake, which will be around 10,000 to 12,000 a day throughout the run.
Right.
Just depends on how efficient I can be throughout my running.
So but in training,
yep,
right now, you have to get up. What do you have as a routine?
Just a bit of toast, muesli bar as well, probably banana, honey.
Do you have a dietitian to help you out?
I have a good friend of mine. He's a very good dietitian. He's helped me out. Basically, the plan is just eat and then eat again. That's
because you can't deplete yourself.
Nah, absolutely not.
Yeah. So and carbs are pretty important.
Yep.
Yeah,
Carbs, protein, fats.
Yeah,
That's the main. And then I'm out the door depending on the run. Like my day to day, I'm doing 2 strength sessions still a week, and then
deadlifts and shit like that.
Yeah, strength like
lower body
quads, calf raises, single leg, unilateral stuff.
And do you have someone to give you a program?
I have a coach, a running coach now, which is awesome.
And then you go for a run, do you?
Yeah, go for a run.
So how far would you run in the morning?
It can depend. It'll probably anywhere from 14K to 20K in the morning.
Do you live in Sydney now, don't you?
Yep,
in
whereabouts? In Randwick.
Randwick.
So I'm right next to Centennial,
okay,
which is helpful.
So you just keep running around
It's
that.
pretty monotonous though now. I've run about 1,000 laps around it.
The inside track or the outside track?
I go the white fence inside. Yeah, it's nice.
So you just 3.7 Ks on me.
About that?
Yeah.
You know it too well, don't you?
Yeah, I've done it, plenty of times.
Yeah.
So you just keep running around.
Yeah, that, or I'll run, I'll change it up a bit, might go anti-clockwise.
Yeah. But it's fairly flat.
Yeah, very flat. It's good.
Yeah.
Or I'll do like the coast to get,
You go
hills.
from Bondi to Bondi or
hills and whatnot,
flowy or something like that. But when you're running, I'm always curious about this.
Yep.
Because I always find that inside track it's a bit hard.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to make sure? What do you wear to make sure that you don't get jarring and stuff like that? Like you protect your muscles from the pounding. I mean, do you wear special shoes or?
I do. I wear shoes that I really like. Can't mention the name.
No.
Because
they're not sponsoring you yet.
No, they won't be. Which is all good.
Yeah.
I wear shoes that are good for my joints.
Yeah. But is that something you worked out that's good for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to trial a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
A lot of support. I guess I also run on, as you said, there's like hard and soft.
Yeah.
I tried grass if I feel I'm a bit jarred up.
Yeah.
But there's days like, have to run a 45, 50K run, back it up with a 20K run the next day for my training.
Yeah.
So it's like you're sore and stiff for the next 4 or 5
But you're running
Ks.
at a pace too, by the way, or do you are you just doing it?
I run probably a bit too quick for what I should. In terms of like ultra endurance stuff, I run roughly 450s, 445s to 5 minute pace, where I should be probably running around.
What's that per kilometer?
5 minute 30s a kilometer.
Yeah.
So 4 minute 45 a kilometer is what I'm probably around at.
Yeah. How many kilometers per hour would that be? For example?
About 12 kilometers an hour
Yes.
is 5 minute pace. So just under, so 12 and a half.
Yeah. So like
Ks.
for anybody who's like, thinking about this, like I run 400 sometimes on a running machine, right?
Yep.
And just because 400 is a good 2 minutes, but just a little bit at 12 Ks an hour.
Yep.
But that's a really fucking hard pace for me anyway.
Yep.
If I could knock 10 of those 400s out with a minute rest in between, I feel pretty happy with myself.
Yep.
You're running how many kilometers at that rate?
Well, I will be running 100K a day at that.
Fuck.
I'll probably be around 5 minute 10. So yeah,
Okay.
just under
So
4.
do you? That's crazy. So do you? That's fucking mental, man. Because I was a good runner. Like I'm still not bad, but like 400s, I consider 400 to be the event.
Yep.
Like that's the event. Then if you want to be a footballer or a fighter or whatever, you've got to run a good 400.
You're fit.
And you're good. You're fit. Yeah, good heart rate. Because then it's a 2 minutes, so 2-3 minute round. It's a good round, all that sort of stuff. But if I can knock out 10 maybe in a good period, but in a prep period.
Yeah.
But not now. I'm going to go and do 10 today.
Yeah.
But they're a minute rest, so I give myself the round rest. You're doing that for fucking hours.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Do you wear monitors? You're doing all the sort of.
Yeah, I'll be managing my
Can you
heart
say
rate
who
zone.
you're using or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, but you got one of them.
I've got an awesome Breitling watch that they help me out
Breitling
with.
got sensors on them now.
No, they don't. They've just got awesome little watches.
The beautiful watch, Breitling. No. But what about the sensor based?
Yeah, I do. I wear a heart rate based monitor
Across
as
your
well.
chest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to like measure.
So you're measuring everything in your training.
Not to a T, not like so to speak. I just go off how I feel, to be honest.
So how's your heart rate? So if you're doing 12 kilometers and you're doing 40K run or 25K run,
Yep.
and you're doing 12 Ks an hour, around about probably a little faster, what's your heart rate like? What would you be at?
Like highest it'll get to is 140.
Right.
Proud about that. That's me at fit. Like I was running during the 50 marathons. I was on my slower days. I was running at like 125 beats a minute. I felt that fit. It was pretty cool. On my my 50th marathon of the 50 days, I ran at 406 pace. So that ended up being probably about 14K an hour, which was like 2 hours 53.
That's going a lot quicker than like most people wouldn't realize. You just get on a running machine, set at 14.
Yeah.
try and do 400.
Yeah.
Try and do a kilometre at 14.
Yeah, it's hectic.
It's hectic, totally. I mean, like some people wouldn't run 100 metres at 14, 15. Like sometimes I crank it up to 60 and I can do 100.
Yeah.
But my heart rate's like 180.
Yeah.
I feel like my heart's going to jump out of my
Gets it going,
chest.
doesn't it?
It's fucked.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you do it. Like, so what do you think, what is it genetically that you think you have that you probably didn't realise you had when you were trying to play footy and all those other things, rowing, that you have to be an endurance person? Or do you think you've just built yourself into becoming an endurance person?
I think I've built it, to be honest. I think like I couldn't run. I hated cross country at school. I could not stand it. And then I just love the struggle. I just fought for the
So
struggle.
it's a mental thing for you.
Yeah.
So you have a mental
it's
ability.
100%.
It's a mental ability as opposed
for
to physical ability.
For sure. And then I guess the physical feeling of when I finished, like I started doing like, I did a 25K run and then I did a marathon and then I ran a 60, an 80, 120. And I'm like, I've got to do something. That's why I brought up the 50 marathons. But yeah, I just longed for the suffer. And then throughout the suffer, I was like, this is crazy. I ran to Palm Beach in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, how am I going to get home from here? Oh, fuck, I've got to run. Because there's no Uber. I'm not going to get an Uber. My phone's about to die, blah, blah, blah. I just loved the struggle of it.
You went from Palm Beach to Randwick.
I Randwick to Palm Beach and back, yeah.
Wow.
Which was ended up 100K.
So you're doing this running primarily.
Yep.
Is something because it does something for you. You love it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're clearly during these periods, it's a lonely place.
Very.
I mean, I'd love to know what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So, you're on the road, you're running across from Perth to Sydney, you've probably got support crew and stuff like that, like probably someone following you and someone filming you or something, but someone's got to feed you. But what are you thinking about? Like what occupies your brain?
It's, again, that's a long answer to that question, but everything. Like you go from why am I doing this to how good is this to what I'm eating for breakfast the next day, what I'm like, I can't, there's just so much, but there's about, when you get to about 50K throughout a 100K run, that's where you're like, all those negative thoughts start coming in. You're
Right.
like, I've been running for 5 hours here. I've got another 5 hours to go. I'm like, I'll use tools, like I'll put music in at 5 hours because I haven't used it yet and I need it as a tool to get me through, and I might blast my ears for 40 minutes and I go, this is just too much, get out of my own head. But I can't, there's multiple things that go through my head. But
I mean, do you get noises? Like dead set head noises?
yeah, I do for sure.
Jiminy Cricket starts getting on his shoulder and sort of rubbing his leg, so fucking give it up.
The
give
devil,
it away.
he pulls up a chair here and then have a good one here and I'm like, oh.
Do you play those games, Angel Devil?
For sure. I go, and then I also play the games with the distances and like once you get here, you can have this. Once you get 10K down, you can have a handful of sour worms, whatever. I just treat myself in that way as well. So that's how I get through it as well.
Gaming it.
Yeah. But I guess the deepest reason of getting these things done is the doubt of people. That's probably one of the biggest things.
I'm going to prove them wrong.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Totally. I love it. And okay, then of course there's charity associated with all these things.
Yep.
So why did you decide to dedicate the money you raised? I think it was 50 grand.
Yeah. I ended up raising 95.
95,000 for the 50 marathon days.
Yep.
Why did you decide to dedicate it for homelessness people?
Yeah.
So what was it that sort of got you going on that one?
Yeah. So when I was running into TAFE in the city, because I'm Sparky, I was running past Eddie Avenue down in the city.
Yep.
And there's always a bunch of homeless people there along the street. And I was initially very confronted, which majority of people are. They don't know how to approach. They want to help, but they don't want to give money. They want to, blah, blah, blah. For the second time running through, I was like, I got to do something here. The next Tuesday I came through, I was like, right, and I got my big boy pants on and I was getting nervous. I was very like, oh my God. But I'm like, they're just fucking people. So I went up, hey guys, can I help out? Do you want any food? Blah, blah, blah. I think it was middle of the winter. I gave them a hoodie as well. And then I was obviously in the mode of like my training. I was getting up there a bit and I did my first 60K run and I'm, it's all dwindling in the back of my head. And then I'd finished the 100K run to Palm Beach and back and I ran through there the next Tuesday. And I was like, oh, fuck, I could help here. My running could be aligned with the homeless and we might be able to make some noise. And then, I ended up telling a friend I was going to do 50 marathons and I was like, I should raise money too. this is going to be awesome. And then, ended up.
Did you give it to them? Where did the dough go?
It went through the Red Cross.
Red Cross, right.
But these awesome now, the guys I'm working with now, called We Are Mobilised. They are an awesome homelessness charity. They do outreaches on the street, and they actually like hands-on first point of call. What's it called again? We Are Mobilised.
Right.
And they actually do like hygiene packs, food, go out and actually ask where the help can be.
Yeah.
Like be given.
So what is the thing that homeless people probably, what are the couple of things they need sort of straight up? Like you just said healthcare packs or like, toothbrush and things like that, razor maybe, I don't know. What do they need? What are the sort of things primary?
Well, unfortunately it's the home. That's they need somewhere to stay because a lot of them are sleeping.
But that's a government issue.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's where these guys can help. And that's where if there's enough noise
they place them?
Yep. And unfortunately, a lot of the places they go to are not even safe. They don't want to even go there. They prefer to sleep on the street. So that's where the change needs to happen. But immediately is like food, water,
right,
hygiene,
a
shower, a haircut. Like, it's not great.
And the Perth, so what was the thing that inspired you to choose a charity? Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you who the charity is. I don't know if you can disclose it at this stage, but to make the outcome of your Perth to Sydney benefit a charity. I mean, what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, well,
or motivated you?
It's exactly it's like I know it's going to make, like people are going to see what I'm doing. I have no doubt, whether that be it now or in day 30, I know people will see it. And it's like, what is it doing? He's doing it for charity. And then once that comes on board, then people go, oh yeah, okay. And then just seeing the struggle and seeing that, like for me, it's also another reason for me to keep going. Is like I'm actually making change here. If I keep going each day, getting up again, there'll be more money donated, more awareness around the issue. That's also another factor to my drive. But yeah, I'm doing We Are Mobilised for this run. They are the charity.
For the homeless people.
Yeah.
Right. And how much money are you trying to raise?
I want to raise $1 million.
That's the plan. That's a lot of money. So where do you why did you, I mean, it's a bit like, I shouldn't think anything of $1 million because you decided to run. How many kilometres is it from Perth to Sydney? 4,000. And also, so I shouldn't be surprised that you pitched a goal at $1 million when you pitched another goal to run 4,000 kilometres. Yeah. Has anyone else done that?
A German dude ran it in 43 days in like 2008, I think. And yeah, I want to go. He ran average 91K a day. I want to go 100K a day.
100. So you're not only seeking to do the event, run the distance, but to break the record, so to speak.
Absolutely.
That's a record?
Yep.
Is it like a Guinness record or something?
The Guinness record's 67, but the fastest time's this guy who did 43 days.
Right. So it
just costs a lot of money to lodge it with Guinness. So I'll see how
does it? Yeah. Oh, you have to pay money to lodge it with Guinness. Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. So and what's your support crew? Like how do you choose those people?
My girlfriend will come along.
Yep.
My mother, I'll have a physio. There'll be a video crew. I'll have probably 8 to 10 people, but again, when the more people you add, the more people you got to feed, the more fans you got to have, blah, blah, blah.
And it's cost more money too.
Absolutely. It's a costly expense and logistics are a nightmare.
Are they?
Just trying to food on the Nullarbor, like it's not cheap at the roadhouses. Plus you need enough for 4 days of trotting along. And
you got to have a van or something, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're in the process of trying to get a van.
Yep.
A van sponsor would be elite. But that's one thing we really do need.
So what's the hardest thing with all this? Is it the logistics, or is it the training? What's the hardest thing to plan to run on the 1st of September from Perth to Sydney, Perth to Bondi, or Cottesloe Beach to Bondi Beach?
Yep.
2 iconic beaches from both sides of the country. What's the hardest thing to do? Is it your own brain, your own mental health, or what is it?
Yeah. Logistics are hard. I've got an awesome team helping me with that. I would say that would be the hardest if I was doing it myself.
But you can outsource that. What's the hardest thing for you?
For me, it's not running right now because I want to get out there. I want to get to fucking Perth tomorrow and I want to start.
You want to start now, yeah.
I hate the build up. But I know I have to get the awareness, to raise the money, to get the sponsors on board.
But what about getting, and do you think you have to as well to get physically prepared, or you reckon you're physically
I'm there now. I would, if you said tomorrow, go and do it, I'd be able to do it.
So patience.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
So that's the virtue that, and that's the one we never talk about, but these days. But patience is the virtue that you need to learn to understand and to engage with.
Yep.
And to somehow not only engage with, but to call upon.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with that?
I'm much better this time around. I only gave myself a month when I did the 50 marathons in 50 days. So I said, I'm doing this on August the 1st, and 1st of September I did it. I started it. This time around I've given myself 6 months. So it's good. It's nice. I have to, as I said, in the 4 a.m.s, all I'm doing is thinking about it, where it'll be great when I get there. But for right now, it's tough. It's like, I want to be starting, but it's good. It fuels my runs. It fuels my long runs. It fuels my resting time. It's like, you've got this, mate. The more, awareness around it, the better.
So on that, rest is a good one. I just want to zero back on that for a second.
Yep.
But both in training and on the event, what is the rest regime that you employ? So you said to me, you get up at 4 a.m. no matter what, but you also said sometimes you might go to bed at 11 o'clock. But what's your ideal resting regime during the prep and during the event?
Yep. Thankfully now I'm not working, so I'll be able to sleep in. It's all very good. The macho man, wake up at 4. It's great. It's a good way to get in your head and be tough and resilient. I also know I need my sleep now.
Yeah.
7 hours minimum. So hopefully I'll be getting that now and I'll be able to train fully rested. Ice baths. I do a lot of ice baths. They're probably more for my head rather than my body.
Yeah. Could you talk about the ice bath? Because I'm so curious about ice baths.
Yeah. I love them. I love I have a chest freezer and I freeze it over and then break it. And
one of those horizontal ones.
Yeah. And I actually break the ice, hop in. It's quite,
yeah.
It's not nice.
So what do you get down to? What temperature?
I'd be freezing. It's like.
Yeah, just below
0.
freezing. Yeah.
Well, it's not even water. It's like a lot more ice than it is water.
Yeah.
So it's like hopping in and
completely just your lower body.
Neck in.
Neck in. And then how long are you doing that for?
If I say 10 minutes, I'll do 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because you got to be careful.
You do. Frostbite can set in pretty early. But sick. 10 minutes, you're not. 10 minutes is fine. Yeah. But that's a long time. That's breathing.
Daily?
3 to 4 times a week.
Right.
And then I'll do a cold shower when I look at the shower and think of a cold shower. I've got to do the cold shower. I can't just go, imagine if you had a cold shower tonight. It's like, I think of that. I'm like, oh, fuck, I've got to have a cold shower now. Because I'm like, I want to make every waking moment as uncomfortable as possible to be comfortable when it gets hard on the billable.
Okay, so the ice bath, the cold shower, is that about getting familiar with being uncomfortable, or is it about therapy?
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, feeling uncomfortable. It's got nothing to do with
I know it has
benefits. Absolutely.
Does it? I'm always curious about that.
There's brown fat cell. It gets them going, so you lose some fat loss tool because you're shivering. You're trying to get it off. I'm sure there is a healing state. Obviously, not straight after a run or a strength training. It does not heal you. It takes 4 hours before you do an ice bath after strength training, they reckon. But I was doing them every night after my marathons to cool my core temp because I was like so hot and so like buzzing and adrenaline. It would actually cool me and like settle me down, and I'd have to focus on my breath rather than like, I'm turbo checking Instagram, doing this, going here. I was like present in the moment, and that then cooled me down to get into bed and go to sleep and go again.
I many years ago, well, not that many years ago, but anyway, I was on a fight camp in Thailand with my trainer, who happened to be a guy called Jeff Fennick.
Yep.
A lot of people know. And Jeff and I went together, and the idea was to train 3 times a day. So we arrived there about 1 a.m. He woke me up at 4:30. We went for a run, and then we hit the pads and stuff during the day, and then in the evening we'd spar, not with him, with other Thai guys. And then it was a 10-day training camp, getting ready for a fight. Anyway, he said to me one day, he said, okay, every day we'd have a sauna, a hot sauna. It's this old school stuff that he loved doing because I had to drop weight.
Yep.
So one day he said to me, second or third day, he said, we're going to go and get a Cairo thing, but not a. So I said, I'm just going on with whatever he wants to, no problem. We ate well and we didn't drink or anything like that. So we go to this place and there's 3 rooms. First room was minus 60. The second room was minus 70, and the third was minus 80, something along those lines. Anyway, they give you booties, things put on your hand, pair of shorts, and a mask because you don't want to breathe in the cold air, but no top, and your legs are bare except for the booties and your pants. And you go in the first room and they say stay in there 15 seconds. then there's a door. It's just like a normal sauna size. And there's a door. You go into the second room, and then the third room you're staying for 3 minutes, right? So we go. You can't see any because it's sort of like not steam, but it's
foggy,
freezing, cold air. So you go into the third room. We get in the third room, two of us, just him and me, and stand there, and I could feel something on my nipple, and what the fuck's going on there? And I just looked down at it, and I saw his hand come over to flick me, flick my nipple. And what I realised, it was an icicle had formed on my nipple, like it was hanging down.
Fuck.
And I just moved away just in time because he's mad. Like he's always fucking around, like practical jokes and shit like that. Anyway, when we came out, the woman who ran the thing, she said, "Lucky he didn't do it. Your nipple would have come flying off with it." Oh, you fucking idiot. But I have to tell you, after I did it, because we just finished a pretty heavy, we'd been training for a couple of days, and I was pretty inflamed.
Yeah. Yep.
And within when I started to warm up, it took a while to warm, but half an hour to warm, but I felt incredibly relaxed.
Yeah.
Like unbelievably relaxed.
Yeah.
My whole body just sort of felt great.
Yeah.
No inflammation.
Yep.
And I always wondered whether the ice baths, someone training at your level, whether or not inflammation is a big issue and whether or not the ice baths give you any relief.
Yeah.
And in a physical sense.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of inflammation, as you said earlier, with the knee, like pounding the pavement. You're always, I don't know. I guess like I strip fat pretty easy, so I don't really have that excess weight when I'm running to hurt my knees. And I feel like my running technique's pretty solid now that I can get away without having sore joints.
And you wear the right gear.
Yeah, wear the right gear. And my toe, I don't have many toenails and blisters are all over my feet, but that's standard with ultra.
So there's something you
pretty
just
callous.
put up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the ice, as I said, the ice baths, I'm sure they were great for inflammation, but they were, for me, just like a way of cooling myself down.
And a good mental thing for you too.
And then
good chill.
Yeah, settle like, and if you can get through a 10-minute ice bath, it's like, I've done a 10-minute ice bath. Like how good. I'm
totally
motivated.
I've tried the ice baths myself just at home. Like I've gone by the ice from the server.
Yeah.
And I haven't, not as cold as you get to it. And I actually went and bought myself a thermal gun to try and work the temperature.
Test out, yeah.
And I did 10 degrees for 10 minutes.
Yep.
But it is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really uncomfortable. And you got to breathe.
Absolutely. That's exactly that. You got to be in the moment, present, because there's no other issues in your life right now than that freaking ice bath.
So when you're on the run, when you're running from Perth, Cottesloe to Sydney to Bondi, no ice baths.
I'm gonna try and
get one of those portable ones.
Yeah,
they're cool. I've seen them advertised. Yeah, get one of those portable, but you're gonna have to get an ice maker to fill it up.
Well, hopefully we have one somewhere, just generator set up and
well, a lot of servos might have them too. As you go through, but I don't know how many servos are on the Nullable.
Yeah.
And so you'll have that
9
set up.
days between.
You have the food set up. You'll have your little support crew there.
Yep.
To give you a bit of motivation here and there, or to smile at you when you're feeling a bit of shit.
Yep.
You're trying to raise $1 million.
Yep.
How can people sort of support you? Where do they go?
Yep. So I've got a website set up, Nedd's Record Run.
Nedd's Record Run.
Yeah, Nedd with 2 Ds.
Yeah.
And on my Instagram is the link in there as well. So Nedd
and
Brockmann.
What's your Instagram page?
Nedd Brockmann. Nedd 2 Ds, Brockmann 2 Ns.
Nedd 2 Ds, Brockmann 2 Ns. And who are your sponsors now? Who have you got now?
I've got some awesome sponsors now. I've got Puma on board as my main sponsorship.
Gear sponsors.
Yep. They're my clothing and apparel.
Yep.
Case Construction, which is a machinery company.
Yeah, I know them. Yeah, they make excavators and stuff.
Yeah. So
I got one of them on my farm actually. I got a
good.
Yeah, Case Bobcat. Yeah.
Yeah, they're legends. The guys at Fishbowl, Budgie Smuggler, Posse Socks.
So we're going to see in Budgie Smugglers?
We will at some point.
Yeah,
we will for sure. Who else might? Remilk, which is a milk dairy company. They're amazing. They're been really supportive, and Optimum Nutrition. So yeah.
So when you talk about your sponsors, do they give you money or is in-kind sponsorship?
No, they will give me money because I need to. Yeah, anyone I've mentioned there have given money to because it's a costly adventure. It's
totally.
Like hiring. Hopefully, we can get a camper van sponsorship.
Yeah,
that's what we're pushing for right now. It's the kind of missing piece.
Yeah. Because you've got to have someone to sleep at night.
Absolutely, and
the crew.
and Temper's another sponsor, mattress. They've given me a mattress, amazing mattress. So hopefully I can put that in a camper van and get a good night's sleep each night, which is very important to get my good night's sleep. But yeah, cost wise for a caravan hire times 3 is camper van hire is a lot of money. So that
Totally.
we don't want to dig too much into the kitty to just pay for the things. You know what I mean? So,
Because you want some money at the end of the day to give to the charity.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
And so, I mean, you got a chance here. Like, we'll send this out and we'll put up on my platform. So,
Yep.
what's one last thing you want to say? Why you're doing this, or what you're doing this for, or what's one last thing you want to leave us with in relation to the run?
yeah. Well, for the run, I just like as many people as possible to come on board and get around it and share the hell out of it. So we make some noise so we can raise the money and can break the world record. That's the plan. By the sponsors, we get the money so we can actually break the world record, and then in turn raise $1 million and actually make some change. And on like a personal note, I just love everyone to have a crack and start being relentless in whatever they want to do, you know, actually go out and hopefully use this as a bit of fuel to start making some change in their life.
Nedd Brockmann, thanks very much. And by the way, you've just inspired me to start thinking about what I can do. So well done, mate.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.